Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share my full journey with the Pimax Crystal Light, from the moment I bought it to finally getting the perfect visual experience after months of replacements. This headset promises high-resolution VR with stunning clarity, but my experience wasn't perfect at first. I ran into some unexpected challenges, and it took several months to get everything right. But in the end, it was absolutely worth it. Let's dive in. I bought the Pimax Crystal Light in August 2024, eager to experience high-end VR with crystal clear visuals. But I didn't have it shipped to Argentina. Why? Because back then, customs regulations, shipping costs, and wait times were terrible. If I had ordered it directly, I might have waited months and paid a ridiculous amount in import fees. Luckily, I had a family trip planned to the US, so I decided to ship it to Miami instead. But there was a catch. I only had 15 days to receive the package while I was there. Pimax did an outstanding job ensuring my headset arrived on time. The moment I landed, I knew I had just a small window before flying back, and they delivered exactly when I needed it. Testing the headset for the first time, I briefly tested the headset on my Asus TUF gaming laptop, which has an RTX 3060. This isn't a high-end GPU, but I was still excited to see what the Pimax Crystal Light could do. The issue? The laptop just wasn't powerful enough to give me a proper first impression. VR requires serious horsepower, and I couldn't tell if any visual problems were from the headset or just the lack of GPU power. Everything seemed fine at first. Back in Argentina, once I set it up on my main rig, I immediately noticed something. This wasn't like my Meta Quest 3. The Quest 3's Pancake lenses offer near-perfect edge-to-edge clarity. No matter where you look, the image stays sharp. But the Pimax Crystal Light uses aspheric lenses, which are completely different in how they focus light and render an image. Pancake lenses, Meta Quest 3. Edge-to-edge clarity, no noticeable blurring, consistent sharpness across the field of view. Lower distortion, no warping or swim effect. Compact and lightweight, uses folded optics, bouncing light inside the lens to keep the headset smaller. Lower light transmission, slightly darker image due to internal reflections. Aspheric lenses, sharper center image. More direct light transmission leads to a crisper center. Higher distortion at the edges, needs software correction, which isn't always perfect. Brighter visuals. No light bouncing means better contrast and colors. Larger field of view, up to 125 degrees compared to 110 degrees on the Quest 3. So in theory, aspheric lenses should provide a better experience if executed correctly. But if they aren't perfectly calibrated, distortions become a serious problem. And in my case, that's exactly what happened. Native resolution, the biggest difference. But here's where the real gap between these two headsets becomes undeniable. The Meta Quest 3 runs at 2064 by 2208 per eye. This is a decent resolution, but when you zoom into cockpit gauges, read small text, or admire fine details in a simulator, the limitations become obvious. Now, compare that to the Pimax Crystal Light, 2880 by 2880 per eye, panel resolution. That alone is a huge jump in detail, but VR doesn't work like flat screens. Because of the lens distortion profile, to truly utilize the full panel resolution, games need to render at a much higher resolution, at least 4282 by 5202 per eye. This is due to barrel distortion correction, which stretches the image to compensate for the optical shape of the lenses. The end result is that even though the display is 2880 by 2880, the GPU needs to push nearly 22 million pixels per frame, which is absolutely brutal for performance. This is where DLSS 4 becomes a game changer. It reconstructs details in VR using AI, improving clarity and reducing aliasing. It boosts FPS significantly, allowing GPUs to handle higher resolutions. In simulators, where every bit of detail matters, DLSS 4 makes a massive difference in both sharpness and performance. Seeing the distortions, I contacted Pimax support. They responded quickly and offered to send me replacement lenses. I just had to cover shipping. But there was a problem. Since I originally bought the headset in the US, Pimax wouldn't ship the replacements to Argentina. They could only send them to the original shipping address in Miami. So I had to, one, pay for the shipping to Miami, find someone to bring the package to Argentina, pay extra to have it shipped to my city. 40 days later, I got them, installed them, and saw some improvement, but distortions and focus issues remained. Second replacement, even worse. Pimax then sent another set of lenses directly to Argentina for $35 shipping. 50 days later, they arrived. I installed them, expecting another small improvement, but instead, it was worse. Somehow, these new lenses had even more distortions than the originals. Final attempt, 7 months of waiting. I contacted Pimax one last time, demanding proper quality control before sending anything else. No more shipping costs, no more guesswork. They agreed. If the next set wasn't right, they'd issue a full refund. And today, March 27, 2025, exactly 7 months after my original purchase, the final replacement lenses arrived. I had zero expectations at this point, but when I installed them, everything changed. For the first time, the distortions were almost gone. The blurriness was practically non-existent. The experience was finally as it should have been from the start. Now that I finally have a near-perfect VR experience, I can appreciate what Pimax is trying to achieve, and with the Pimax Crystal Super coming soon, promising even higher resolution, the future of VR looks exciting. Am I getting it? Definitely. Can GPUs handle it? Not yet. But that's the fun of VR. It's always evolving. And this journey, despite its ups and downs, has been worth it.